The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins and Sawyer Robbins. Introduction. The Power of Letting Them. The Let Them Theory represents a transformative shift in how we approach relationships, control, and personal freedom. At its core, this philosophy teaches us to release our grip on other people's choices, opinions, and behaviors. The central premise is deceptively simple, yet profoundly liberating. Let them. Let them have their opinions. Let them make their choices. Let them live their lives. Let them be wrong about you. This isn't about apathy or indifference. Rather, it's about recognizing where your power truly lies, not in controlling others, but in controlling your own responses, boundaries, and decisions. When you stop trying to manage what other people think, say, or do, you reclaim enormous amounts of mental and emotional energy that can be redirected toward your own growth and happiness. The theory challenges our natural tendency to convince, explain, defend, and seek approval. It asks us to examine why we feel compelled to make others understand us, agree with us, or behave in ways that make us comfortable. The answer often reveals our own insecurities and need for external validation. Part 1. Understanding why we struggle to let them. The control trap. We've been conditioned to believe that we can and should influence the people around us. From childhood, we learn that good behavior earns approval and bad behavior brings consequences. This creates a blueprint in our minds. If we just say the right thing, act the right way, or try hard enough, we can get others to respond how we want. This belief system sets us up for constant disappointment and frustration. The reality is that other people are autonomous beings with their own histories, wounds, perspectives, and free will. No amount of explaining, pleading, or performing will fundamentally change someone who isn't ready or willing to change. The need for approval, many of us, carry a deep-seated need to be understood, validated, and approved of by others. This need often stems from childhood experiences where love felt conditional, or where we learned that our worth depended on others' perceptions of us. As adults, we continue seeking this external validation, exhausting ourselves trying to prove our value to people who may never see it. The Let Them theory exposes this pattern. When someone doesn't like you, doesn't choose you, or doesn't see your worth, the instinct is to work harder to win them over. But this is precisely backward. Their inability to see your value says nothing about your worth and everything about their perspective, capacity, or alignment with you. Fear of judgment and rejection. At the heart of our struggle to let them is fear. We fear being misunderstood, rejected, excluded, or judged. These fears are often rooted in our primal need for belonging. Historically, being cast out from the tribe meant death. While modern rejection rarely carries such severe consequences, our nervous systems haven't fully caught up. This fear keeps us imprisoned in people-pleasing behaviors, constant explanation mode, and defensive postures. We overshare, over-justify, and over-accommodate, hoping to prevent the rejection we dread. But in doing so, we reject ourselves first, abandoning our own needs and truth to manage others' perceptions. The exhaustion of managing others. Consider how much energy you spend trying to manage what other people think, feel, or do. You craft messages carefully to avoid misunderstanding. You rehearse conversations to anticipate reactions. You modify your behavior to prevent judgment. You lie awake replaying interactions, wondering if you said something wrong. This constant management is exhausting and ultimately futile. You cannot control another person's internal experience. Their thoughts and feelings are shaped by countless factors beyond your influence. their past experiences, current stress levels, personal insecurities, and worldview. When you try to control these outcomes, you set yourself up for chronic stress and disappointment. Part 2. The core principles of letting them. Let them have their opinions. Other people will form opinions about you regardless of what you do. Some will love you, some won't. Some will misunderstand you, some will judge you unfairly. This is inevitable, and, importantly, none of it determines your actual worth or truth. When you let them have their opinions, even wrong ones, you free yourself from the exhausting task of constantly correcting, defending, or proving yourself. You recognize that their opinion is about them, filtered through their lens, not an objective assessment of who you are. This doesn't mean you never clarify or set records straight, but it means you stop needing everyone to get it right about you. You become selective about where you invest your energy and explanation, reserving it for relationships that matter and contexts where mutual understanding serves a purpose. Let them make their choices. People will make choices you disagree with, choices that hurt you, choices that seem obviously wrong. Your job is not to prevent their choices, but to decide how you'll respond to them. When someone shows you through their choices that they don't value the relationship the way you do, believe them. When someone repeatedly chooses behaviors that harm you, let them. And then make your own choice about whether to remain accessible to that harm. This principle is especially powerful in romantic relationships and friendships. If someone isn't choosing you, prioritizing you, or showing up for you the way you need, no amount of convincing will create genuine devotion. Let them make their choice, and then honor yourself by making yours. Let them be wrong about you. This might be the most liberating principle of all. Someone thinks you're selfish? Let them. Someone believes you had bad intentions? Let them. Someone has completely misread your character? Let them. When you stop needing to correct every misconception, you reclaim enormous power. You're no longer at the mercy of others' perceptions. Your peace doesn't depend on everyone understanding you correctly. The people who truly know you, who matter to you, will see the truth. The rest? Their misperceptions are their burden to carry, not yours to fix. This doesn't mean you're indifferent to your reputation, but rather that you're selective about which perceptions you engage with and which you simply let be. Let them go. Sometimes letting them means letting them go entirely. When someone repeatedly demonstrates through their words or actions that they're not aligned with your values, not capable of healthy relationship, or not willing to treat you with respect, letting them go is an act of self-love. This applies to friends who drain you, family members who disrespect you, romantic partners who don't choose you fully, and colleagues who undermine you. Letting them go doesn't require anger or drama. It simply requires clarity about what you will and won't accept in your life, and the courage to enforce those boundaries. The difference between letting them and not caring. A crucial distinction. The let them. Theory is not about apathy or indifference. It's not about tolerating mistreatment or having no standards. It's about distinguishing between what's yours to control and what isn't. You can care deeply about someone while letting them make their own choices. You can have strong values while letting others disagree with you. You can want a relationship to work while letting someone show you through their actions whether they're capable of what you need. Letting them is actually an act of respect for both them and yourself. You respect their autonomy while simultaneously respecting your own right to choose your response and set your boundaries. Part 3. Applying the theory in real life. In romantic relationships, The let them theory transforms how you approach romantic partnerships. Instead of trying to convince someone to love you, commit to you, or treat you well, you let them show you who they are through their consistent actions. If someone is inconsistent, let them be inconsistent, and decide if that works for you. If someone can't meet your needs, let them be incapable, and decide if you'll accept that. If someone won't prioritize the relationship, let them deprioritize it, and then make your choice about staying or leaving. This approach eliminates the painful cycle of pursuing someone who's pulling away or trying to change someone into who you need them to be. It puts the focus back on compatibility and alignment rather than convincing and converting. In family dynamics, family relationships often carry the heaviest expectations and deepest wounds. The let them theory can be revolutionary here. Let your parents have their opinions about your life choices. Let your siblings handle their lives their way. Let family members stay stuck in their patterns. This doesn't mean abandoning family or accepting abuse. It means recognizing that you cannot force family members to heal, grow, understand you, or meet your needs. You can only control your boundaries, your responses, and your choices about engagement. Many people spend decades trying to get a parent's approval, a sibling's understanding, or a family's acceptance. The let them theory asks, what if you stopped trying? What if you let them be who they are, and focused instead on building a life that fulfills you regardless of their validation? In friendships, healthy friendships should be mutual, supportive, and reciprocal. The let them theory helps you identify which friendships meet this standard and which ones don't. If a friend consistently cancels plans, let them. If a friend only reaches out when they need something, let them. If a friend judges your choices or makes you feel small, let them show you who they are. Then decide if that's the kind of friendship you want in your life. This theory also liberates you from the exhausting work of maintaining one-sided friendships. You don't need to convince someone to value your friendship. Either they do or they don't. Let their actions reveal the truth and respond accordingly. At work, professional environments are filled with opportunities to practice letting them. Let your colleague take credit if they need to. Let your boss have their management style. Let co-workers gossip or compete or play politics. Obviously, there are times when you must address issues professionally, especially those affecting your work quality or advancement. But the let them theory asks you to consider which battles actually matter. Where are you wasting energy trying to change workplace dynamics beyond your control? Often, the most powerful response to difficult workplace situations is to do excellent work, maintain your integrity, and let others reveal their character through their actions. Focus on what you can control, your performance, your professionalism, and ultimately, whether this environment aligns with your values and goals. With yourself, perhaps the most important application of the let them theory is internal. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself be imperfect. Let yourself change your mind. Let yourself take up space. Let yourself want what you want without apologizing. We often hold ourselves to impossible standards while being far more forgiving of others. The energy you've spent managing others' perceptions would be better invested in accepting yourself fully, flaws, contradictions, and all. Part 4. The freedom on the other side. Reclaiming your energy. When you stop trying to control what other people think, say, or do, you suddenly have enormous amounts of energy available. The mental space, previously occupied by worry, strategizing, and people-pleasing, becomes available for creativity, rest, joy, and pursuing your own goals. People who practice the let them theory consistently report feeling lighter, more peaceful, and more focused. They sleep better. They're more present with people who matter. They make clearer decisions because they're not constantly calculating others' reactions. Authentic relationships. Paradoxically, when you stop trying so hard to be liked and understood, your relationships often improve. You attract people who appreciate you as you are, rather than those drawn to your performance. You deepen connections with people who choose you freely, rather than those you've convinced to stay. Authenticity becomes possible when you're not constantly editing yourself for approval. You can speak your truth, express your needs, and show your real personality without the exhausting filter of managing perceptions. Stronger boundaries. The let them theory and healthy boundaries are inseparable. When you let people be who they are, you simultaneously become clearer about what you will and won't accept. You stop trying to change people and instead make clean decisions about access and proximity. Your boundaries become easier to enforce because you're not attached to the outcome. If someone can't respect your boundary, you let them be incapable of it, and then you protect yourself accordingly. You're no longer waiting for them to change or trying to convince them your boundary is valid. Self-trust and confidence. As you practice letting them, you develop profound trust in yourself. You trust your ability to handle rejection, misunderstanding, and disapproval. You trust your judgment about who deserves your energy and who doesn't. You trust that you'll be okay even when people don't choose you. This self-trust translates to confidence that isn't dependent on external validation. You know who you are independent of others' opinions. You make decisions based on your values rather than anticipated reactions. You take up space unapologetically because you're not waiting for permission. Peace and liberation. Ultimately, the let them theory offers something priceless: peace. Peace comes from accepting that you cannot control other people. Peace comes from releasing the burden of managing others' perceptions. Peace comes from focusing on what's actually yours: your thoughts, your choices, your boundaries, your life. This peace doesn't mean you stop caring about anything or anyone. It means you care wisely, investing your limited energy in ways that honor both yourself and others. It means you're no longer imprisoned by others' opinions, choices, or judgments. The liberation is real and transformative. You step out of reactivity and into intentionality. You move from victim to author of your life. You stop waiting for others to change and start creating the life you want, regardless of their participation. Suffocate. Conclusion. Your invitation to let them. The let them theory is simple in concept, but requires courage in practice. It asks you to release control you never truly had and embrace the freedom that comes with that release. It invites you to stop proving, defending, and convincing, and start simply being. This is not a one-time decision, but an ongoing practice. You'll catch yourself slipping back into old patterns of trying to manage others' perceptions. That's normal. The practice is in noticing, releasing, and returning to the truth. You are not responsible for what other people think, feel, or choose. You are responsible for your own integrity, boundaries, and choices. You are responsible for treating others with respect, while also respecting yourself. You are responsible for building a life aligned with your values, regardless of who approves. So let them. Let them judge you, misunderstand you, reject you, or underestimate you. Let them make choices you disagree with. Let them go if they're not meant to stay. And in that letting go, find the space to fully embrace your own life, your own worth, and your own peace. The freedom you're seeking isn't found in getting everyone to understand you. It's found in understanding that you don't need them to. You are enough, exactly as you are, whether they see it or not. Let them be who they are, and you be magnificently, unapologetically yourself.